Hey, this is another episode of Candace Michelle Views, where I give my opinion on what I am viewing on any mainstream media platform that you could think of. So today I just wanted to give my opinion and go over a YouTuber. His name is Lennon. As you can see, let's go to his page, Lennon Honor. He's been on YouTube for several years. I believe I did briefly go through his timeline, and it seems like his page goes about 7 years or so back. So it seems like he's always been somewhat on the YouTube platform, but it didn't seem like he had too much of a big following. As not saying he has a big following, but he has 67,000 subscribers. So I would say that's a big following, considering only thing he really is covering as of right now for the past 3 or probably more than that, probably 7 or some odd years since he had the page, I'm not sure, of following Dr. Umar, and if he's ever going to actually open the school of the Frederick Douglass Martin Luther King Jr. school, whatever that other guy name is. So I believe that obviously anybody with like a big following, in my mind, is definitely probably like some type of CIA agent, or like some type of people that's in like some type of community situation where, they are okay with them having this big following and this influencing crowd, because they know what to do with that crowd. So that's why they allowed to have it. And I believe that Leonard Honor is being played by the role of, in my opinion, Keegan Michael Key. And I am going to go over a little bit of the similarities. I don't really know much about these people. I'm not a big Key and Peele fan. I remember him from MTV days, so I know this guy is a big improver, which is good for YouTubing. Being able to improv. Excuse me. That's not good. Try not to ever cough on here with the situation going on right now. So he was on Mad TV, and also obviously Key and Peele, and plenty of other things. So he's a part of the game. Okay, this little thing he got going on right here is definitely some type of, and this is obviously Lennon, and this is Keegan. So I found it weird that somebody in the chat, in Lennon's chat right here, says talk to Lee. It's like literally right there. I'm gonna try not to enlarge things. You can always pause and try to enlarge things with your phone if you're on your phone, or pause the TV. But as you can see, it just went past where somebody says talk to Lee, like giving him a short name for Lee. And I thought that was just funny because, his beginning of his name is Key, like Kee, and they're like literally giving him a nickname of Lee. Okay. So, I just don't want to just like, just say, oh, well, they look alike, because I tell you a lot, people could look alike. But then when you start to compare like voices and, characteristics where things aren't really adding up. Okay. Let's see what's going on with the volume.
Oh, man.
So we're going to compare the voices and the behaviors.
Give me one more chance. Who is in charge? His name was Angry Man. The warehouse is located in the diploma for being a detective. I want a name. Justin. Thank you. Hang. Don't say hang. God damn it, do not say hang. Hang. Nope. Hangman Justin Cat. Finley. Poster. Do not say poster or cat.
Don't they look, Joe? Don't he does that? Like, did you not see what
I am sure that there are people who have reached out to Umar to try to get him some help. I don't know if it's family members or not, because understand that the family members are probably
like, I just want you guys to pay attention.
See, what
Hangman Justin Cat.
Finley. See online.
Poster.
And this is the best representation of Umar Johnson offers to the world.
Pay attention to their behavior, their talk.
Let's try this one more time. Finley, who do you work for? Coffee. Mr. Coffee. Coop.
He said Mr. Coffee Coop like cup. These guys are weird.
Now you're just talking about me. Finley, I'm going to give you one more chance. Who is in charge? His name was Angry Man. The warehouse is located in the diploma for being a detective. I want a name. Justin. Thank you. Hangtree. Don't say hang. God damn it, do not say hang. Nope. Hangman Justin Cat. Finley. Poster. Do not say poster or
Brown and
cat.
the disrespect of black athletes, but Umar Johnson's contributed to that too. See, Stephen A. Smith
So-
established the culture over the last 20 years
Try this one.
respecting black athletes. Umar Johnson is a proponent
Like,
of that.
I don't know if you guys not getting this in sync of it all.
Naima Soccer talking shit about her. What kind of man does some shit like that? She's in her early 20s. He up there on the Breakfast Club talking shit, bitch ass.
Now remind you, Keegan, this is a younger Keegan. This
And
is
then
an older
a couple of weeks later, he
mass
goes out talking about how she has
Keegan.
these social anxiety. He's supposed to be a school fucking psychologist.
This is the younger
And it's
Keegan.
clowns like Umar that
He's
talk
not this
all that
young
shit
no
that
more.
it impact these young people like this in a negative way.
His
And
name
it
was
exacerbates
Ang-
the issue that same social anxiety gets worse. He's supposed to be a school
The
fucking
warehouse is located.
Umar ain't got none of that mama's cooking.
Justin.
Okay?
He's a clown.
What are they, twins?
Do not
And
say
it's
hang.
true. Umar has
If not the same person, what are they? Twins, cousins, first cousins,
everybody.
brothers,
Do not say poster or cat.
half brothers-in-laws, or whatever.
But you talking about how you
Very similar, very in sync. So this is why I say, like, if they're not the same person, which in my opinion, I believe this is the older Keegan. This is Keegan right here. This is Keegan when he's older, and obviously he's in the game. He is in the game, okay? Look at him. Look at Keegan now playing a role. Can you tell that he has all these prosthetics and he has a wig? He's bald headed, but here he is looking a little very different. Very different. This is what they do for a living, okay? Who would sit up there and talk about Dr. Omar for 7 years? Maybe somebody that gets paid to do so, because they're all big players in the game.
And it is time for me to get out of my regular clothes and into wardrobe.
More prosthetic, more. Look at the chin area. He has like stuff on the chin. This is what they do. Okay, he's all.
Barbecue here.
Look at him being a regular guy. Like, look at him looking like him right now. He looks just like him right here. This is still Keegan.
Barbecue here. Everything you need here, the vegetables. Some onions, got some eggplant here, some tomatoes. Roasting some shiitakes, you know what I mean? And 2 porterhouses. Delicious.
Okay.
There we go. Pre-Memorial Day barbecue here.
So if you guys are not seeing it, I just want to breeze through these videos because obviously I just got my internet and things back up by being super BITCHCT harassing them and making them walk me through fixing it on my own instead of waiting for people to never showed up and we end up walking through it on my own and fixing it and reprogramming it. So I'm back up for right now. I don't know how long I'm gonna be back up, so that's why I'm trying to like rush through this, and then hopefully everything works out where I don't have any more issues with it, but we'll see. But yeah, so this is all I really wanted to go over just for right now. It's just one of these videos. I have plenty of other videos that I'm trying to get out. Hopefully I can get them together and put them out. So as you can see, the Keegan, he has a wife. Also, Lennon, he is a family man, but you know, he is a YouTuber. So I'm not going to be too invasive in trying to find like his Instagram and things like that. I'll just stick with the main character that I believe is playing the role of the YouTuber. I believe he is the main character. As you can see, he plays plenty of looks. He could play plenty of looks. And you wouldn't even tell. This is what they do. They change their look. I mean, if you can't see, like, he's changing his looks drastically, you know, to resemble whatever role he wants to play. And if you haven't watched a lot of his shows from like Mad TV days, they have similar personalities and behaviors where he's always getting up and running away. And, you know, as I state, they always are playing you know, biblical roles. This is all biblical stuff. As you know, he is a main character. They played on Mad TV together as well, and went on with the role of their own, because they are major players in a game. They always knew they were going to elevate to where they're at and play whatever roles that are needed to be played, because it doesn't matter. It's all, you know, what they need to do. It's all a part of it. So they all play their part. So yeah, so Pill, obviously, in Key and Pill is very like symbolic and like very history-ish. Of course, Pill, like Pill, it may be spelled a little bit different where it's an E here instead of an extra L, but it kind of is from where I was taking the Canadian story from, and I'm gonna try to put the links to the 2 Canadian videos where you can see some history of it, of how a lot of the Native Indians would look, Native Americans, that they keep insinuating are Indians. Well, and you know, it could be whichever, but India is more Asia, so this is more Native American. But they just don't acknowledge us for some reason. So yeah, so this is, as you can see, in Canada, they had started a fur trade, beaver. If you want to pause and try to, you know, read this, you can do so. As it says, the propel and cut'em, a Latin. As I told you, everything is in Latin, like Sultan, like Latin, not spit, like, you know, Latin, like Sultan, like Aladdin, Latin, like genie, like jinn, like the jinn and genie, like and we'll go over that when I get into like a history video, because the jinn is in China. But anyway, we'll continue on. So this is a Latin phrase for a pelt, for a skin, a traditional motto of the Hudson Bay, which is like in Canada, which is America, is North America. And it was adopted soon after the company received its charter. Excuse me, I'm going, you know, I really don't want to read most of this, but you see it kind of the initials is HBC, which is probably where they get the HBCUs from. You know, if you know what I'm saying. And this doesn't sound that great because this isn't really founded by black people. This is when the Italian, well, not the Italian, the Ottomans or whatever, when they came into Quebec and, you know, voyaged through to Montreal. And if you go to those Canada videos, they'll be more explicit on how they came across the borderlines and immigrated in there and live and dwell in there, even though it's plenty of Native Americans living, Native people to America living in Canada, also in America, all in America, as well as them being in the coastlines and things like that. So anyway, so yeah, the HBC, which I believe is like a HBCU as well. And anyway, so it's the coat and arms, and it is origin and interpretation of, it says that it's adapted the propel from the biblical verse of Job. I say it's Job, but I say Job for a reason. I'm going to say Job. I know it's Job. But anyway, Job 2:4. Pelham by Roman poet Juvenal, and you already know what the Romans and with the Juliet, which was the Egyptians, when Cleopatra ended up being with Caesar, one of them. So that was like the Romeo Juliet kind of thing. But anyway, the Roman poet Juliet in is satire 10 blah blah blah. Basically, it means hide in place of skin. Hide in place of skin. So they're basically skinning something like an animal, whatever, and then you're going and placing it on you. So they're putting on someone's skin, and they're hiding in the place of skin. And the motto is often meant to mean animal skins obtained at the cost of human skin. So that's weird. I don't know what that means, but whatever, you know, but it doesn't sound good. And none of this stuff is ever good in history. It's always dark as it sounds, okay? They're hiding in place of skin, okay? So I believe that is all connected, of course. And, yeah, and they all have their own shows. And as I stated, I believe that they look just alike. We could just go through over some photos. Then I'm going to just go into some random celeb rant because I haven't done that in a while, and I have some stuff I just wanted to just get out of my phone, and I really didn't want to just delete it. I wanted it to be in a video, so I'm just tagging along this short video and just collab it with a celeb rant / twinsy foul video. And yeah, as you can see, they look alike. This is a younger version of him. I showed you what an older version of him looks like. I just wanted to do stuff quickly. So I just grabbed whatever photos, because tell you the truth, it doesn't matter what age, they still look alike, because these are maxed up people. These are prosthetic wearing people. When he turns to the side, sometimes his side looks very prosthetic-y, like he has on some type of, like, I don't know. It's just something about when he turns to the side, things start to look like very prosthetic-y. And as you can see, this is kind of like a younger version of him. And yeah, I mean, the resemblance and everything is there. If not the same person, then what? Because as I told you, 9 times out of 10, we're watching descendants of people from certain areas like South America or blah, blah, blah. So we come here, do certain stuff for the Hollywood, Bollywood / Lagos, Nigeria movie sets. They come and do, you know, I see some people from Nigeria, Lagos, and move in shows and like The Shy. I've noticed one of those actors are the same people in of course Bollywood and things like that. So they're all connected. They go back to their country or whatever when they feel like, or whenever they kick them out and give them bad reps. I know I'm doing this a lot, sorry. But yeah, anyway, you know how that go. I've done enough of these rants for you guys to know what they're doing here. A lot of infiltrating. They're making sure they're steering you in certain ways. He even touched on a subject of young Pharaoh, which I was like, you know, it didn't even seem like he would even talk about young Pharaoh. He always act like he's very like conservative. And as you can see, everything I had said about young Pharaoh from day one was accurate. I already told people polygamy was going to be the issue, that it was infiltrating once he was giving out that information. He was giving out good information, but once he said polygamy, I was like, you know, he's messing up. This is an infiltrator. I already know what he's doing. He's giving you good info. Then he'd throw a curveball, which is the polygamy. I said this specifically in like 2 or 3 of my videos. Always knew the girl was going to deal with it. I explained that in the video. I already told you guys that he's very disrespectful towards black women. I showed you in plenty of clips where he was being rude towards women that had like weaves of things in their head, and he was being very nasty, and then wouldn't say nothing like that towards other type of women. So I realized he was stereotyping black women, which is like, bro, if you're going to be the staple of black men, you can't do that. You got to be like, oh, you know, you love more. If you're going to be that staple. And then he shows you his true colors. He keeps saying the woman he's with is black, but she's Indian, which is Asian. It's in Asia. That's why she has clips saying she'll just leave the country because she's able to. Black women are not able to leave the country like her. They stay out in Buffalo, Texas, and things like that because of the state lines. And I already explained that it's different rules in different states that probably weren't even a part of our, or that things that we fought and battled over that they parked their butts in. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'll get into all the young Pharaoh and his girlfriend. She's not innocent, but she's going to get in there. We're going to get her in there too, because, you know, anybody with a platform is definitely a paid operative. And not saying like a DEA agent in her case. Maybe young Pharaoh, he always looked like a DEA agent. But as far as I will explain a lot. Anyway, I'm not even going to get into that because that's long. But I was shocked that he touched that phase of young Pharaoh.
With that shit. And as a consequence, they fired his ass, walked him out of the school.
All right, he took my
shit.
But and yeah, I'm just gonna wrap him up now. As I stated, if not the same person, maybe first cousins from the same country, same area, same family line, and they bring them over here to be celebrities and things like that from those countries. And they're not like Sultan is not even a higher rank than King, so you know they're not even like big ranks, and they make it seem like they're like these higher ranks. But Sultan is is not even a higher rank than a king. So, yeah, you know, they could come over here and do whatever they need to do and perform whatever they need to perform. And if you want to pay attention to it, pay attention to it. So here, let's just get into a little quick celebrity rant bonus. And if you don't want to get into it, you could click off. I'm done with Key and Lee. Okay, we're done with Key and Lee. Okay, so we're gonna get to Rihanna. I don't know if this is normal, but I just felt like her standing in the position she's standing in, I don't know why her skin would do this. I feel like this is definitely a bodysuit. Only a bodysuit will most likely fold in this kind. I tried it so much in the mirror that I just was like, it's impossible for her to be in this kind of way and for it to indent all the way up to this point line. Okay, I mean, this is weird. This is a weird indentation. Okay, very weird flap going on. Armpit nowhere near there. It can't be nowhere near above her tattoo in the mid of her boob, her armpit. So, you know, and then if you watch the video, it seemed very CGI. It was very glitchy. It was very weird. It seemed like they had a crowd there yelling, but they never showed any crowd. And they had a camera watching them, but there was no other cameras taking any other. You know, usually it'll be a lot of cameras and angles if they're doing videos. There was no camera but the camera that was video recording them, which is very weird. There was no camera around that was catching any other footage. So, you know, I don't know if this is what this was about, but definitely weird. You know, and this is obviously, you know, as he keeps his head down with his hat on, you already know who he is twinning with. Just by looking at this right here, it's a big weird game where she was always beefing with Kylie. And look at her, this guy with him looking down with the hat. I mean, looks just like Kylie's BD, Travis Scott. Allegedly, I never done a video, but I do believe they're the same people in my opinion. Also another glitch. Here we go. Can a finger do this? Can a finger do this? Can a finger do this? This is Keisha. Ice, Gucci Man's girlfriend, Keisha Kayor. I mean, look at her hand. Look at the middle of her hand. It just doesn't make any sense right here. Doesn't make any sense. But, you know, whatever. Let's just keep it moving. Okay. I want you about this. Check this out. Always told you about this person. Top models. Secret. Victoria's Secret is their victors, allegedly. Okay. Look at the neckline. Look at the neckline. That neckline was an issue. Whoever has straight necklines and they are not okay, but this is not the case that we're talking about. We're talking about these people. Okay. Look at the neckline. This is her mom, Holly. Okay. Looking like she's on Holly Boulevard, about to go to one of those Queen shows and perform. This is she's a trans coming out, first known trans on the. This is what they're saying about her. She's the first known trans to come on Sports Illustrated, which you wouldn't even know this was a man. But as I showed y'all, okay, as I showed y'all, her neck. Straight across. Her neck. Straight across. Excuse me. Her neck straight across. Her neck straight across. So how can a transvestite, a known coming out transvestite, have the same exact neck bone? Same exact coming straight across like this? How is that possible? How would they have the same exact neck bone line? Okay, how would that happen? How would they have the same exact straight across neck bone line if one is a female and one is a trans? So that's just something you guys got to figure out. Maybe men and women do have the same, but that's not what they're telling us in biology, okay? So we're going to move along from that, okay? I'm not going to stay stuck on something that's obvious with all of them. All the culprits I just showed you, including her. It hurt him. Allegedly. So this is still the lady, trans lady. And as you can see, when they like lean and stuff, it kind of like bends in. But when they lay straight, it goes straight across for some reason. We don't know how all that works, but this is a known trend. So we know this is born male. So we just could use this as an example of a lot of janky work going on down here. Just like how all their stuff always bunch up right there like it's stuff in the middle. But you know, what do we know? This was super weird and sad. I'm going to skip over it. He should, like, I mean, just ignore it. That's the only thing I advise you guys to do. Don't even complain about it. Just don't say anything. And maybe he'll go away and take off his mask and his costume. And, you know, this is Lil Nas X. Yeah, let him go. Everybody ignore him. So, Beyonce burnt her mansion down, getting rid of all the blood stains and all the witch hairs, all the hairs in the bottles and the hair brushes. She burnt all that stuff down. You know, because this is what they do. This is that they could probably transform into. They say they are shift shapers. I've seen plenty of them with their teeth like this, and they just start turning into this. But what I showed you, Beyonce kind of turned into, I have a video where she's glitching into something that looks like this. But whatever. You know, what would you need to burn anything down for? Mansion fire was arson. Yeah, I know it was. Of course. Found in the oven. Girl, you don't know how to cook? Yeah, quickly. I mean, come on. He is over here trying to climb the ranks. He want to be like in like number 2 spot, okay? Because no one is beating LeBron. He's taking it with he's in the kid zone. So I haven't seen him doing anything underage yet in public. But this looked like it could be underage. But you know, they saying he's grown. Yeah, he's all over the place. Let's take a look at him. James Harden keeping his name alive. They getting caught on a date. Like, it's in my opinion, it's like, you know how you catch them and it's like, so they get caught a lot. They got caught a lot. He was like hiding behind it. Then he was like, you know, I'm already caught. I'm with him. We got knocked together doing drugs. Because he already done a video on them. And if you want to go back to
honey bun references there is, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot more than what I put.
I was being very aggressive.
Straight to his face for that. So you only go to his face for the honey buns, right? So I just want to make sure that y'all know I'm not reaching, okay? I just wanted to piggyback off the honey buns to show you 5 different
That's too much. Let's go.
That they perform.
Just want to show you my old footage of them together. Okay, so you already know what's going on here. Okay, you already know what's going on there. So he also offered her, allegedly, as he say, cap in response. But, you know, it doesn't really seem that cap. As I showed you, he has gifted $100K already with a bag full of honey buns. So I wouldn't be shocked if this was not cap, but this is what he says. It's cap. He didn't offer her $100K, but it just seems like he doesn't stop. You know, because here he goes, loosey goosey. Here goes little Uzi that he's hugging up, and look, he's being rude and playing behind Uzi back. Look, right behind Uzi back, he's tickling away. Tickle, 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 tickle. Wait, look. Tickle, tickle. No, tickle. You crazy. No, let's tickle again. Well, I want to see the tickle again. This is a nice tickle. It looked like a good tickle. Oh, you got him good. Look. Ooh. You got him good. Put him down. Let's get out of here, okay? Like, these people are sick, all right? We don't want to see James Harden's... He's on a roll. He did it right in front of Lil Uzi while he was dancing. He does not care. He's giving out $100K. Like, he could do whatever he wants in people's face. So I did find The 444, year 444 before Common Era was a year of pre-Julian Roman calendar. So that's what the 444 is standing for. At the time, it was known as the year of Tribunate of Atrianus. So, come on, I'm not going to say all these words. And the year of consulship in Mongolianus and Atranius, or less frequently, year 310. Abe Urbi. And I already told you what ab means. Ab, Urbi, whatever. I don't know what all this means, but it's most likely in Latin. You will have to Google it, what it means, a way of whatever. The denomination 444 BC for this year has been used since the early medieval period, when the Anandami calendar era became the prevalent method in Europe for naming years. That's when the year 0 came. Remember? That's what it stood for. And 90. So we see what year with this 44. You see where they all over the place with their calendar? I mean, come on. So that's what all that's about, okay? So just know that these people are representing these Roman, Egyptian, or, you know, they're all connected back there. I'll show you how they all connected. Look how he used my title, Devil Are Busy. And as you can see, I did it literally the day before. I did it 23 hours ago, and his was about, what is it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. He literally did it after me the next day. See, this is 1 day ago, and this was like literally, I caught the live, like literally after me. So I'm just like, why did he title it? Like, it's not a big deal, but it's just like little things like that where they'll just steal and piggyback off you out of nowhere. But if somebody like that is piggybacking off of me, I should have way more views than what I have. But they won't let you ever get a platform unless they okay you or, you know. So just know, if you do get a big platform, that sometimes it could possibly happen if you work really hard and probably utilize a lot of different websites to gather a group. But it's not that easy, because trust me, they have it on lock. It's people that's just he just popped up out of nowhere, and they're just giving a platform. And let's be honest, he was part of the Wizards when he played with Michael Jordan. I mean, I already just went through with Beyonce, and I just showed you. So yeah, this is Witches and Warlocks. He knows exactly what he is, playing with the Wizards. So here is where my TV tried to conk out and all the issues started. July 6th. It's now almost August. This is when the devices started to give me an issue, because I wanted to take this questions. And he's a YouTuber as well, a fighter, an ex-fighter. He has a big platform, of course, for a reason.
Serious question. All right, were you ever approached by the Illuminati, deep state, whatever you want to call it, when you were fighting? I know they're in all areas of sports, and especially anything with big money. Thanks for your time and much love. We're in this together, Bubba. Sincerely, I'll read her name because she wrote a long email and I read it, and I just picked out a little portion of it. Shauna Atkins. All right, so was I ever approached? It doesn't work like that, folks. They steer you into events, and they steer you into group gatherings, and they kind of test you out from there. What they do is they kind of test what you're willing to do. They got good antennas for this shit. They don't just take you and say, hey, come on.
Very accurate.
Over here. And they sit you down, and everyone's wearing a robe, and they're like, all right, guess what? We're going to eat a kid today. It's not like that.
No.
They merge you in and say, hey, they talk in secret.
You won't get nowhere near in unless you done did a lot of stuff already. That's what you mean. You got a lot of blackmail on you. They got a lot of stuff on you. You did a lot of stuff for them before you could ever even know much. A little. But they do try to recruit. Steering you in, mad. It'll come from so many different directions.
And the head person has to backtrack.
Okay, I'm annoying. I don't know.
Later, and they all got.
So anyway, after he was talking,
he's absolutely right.
I basically just said what I just said just now. Like what he said was very cool. So anyway, right after that, the TV conked out.
YouTube ain't like, what just happened?
The same thing I was complaining about today. This is July 6th.
Cut off.
Is when it started.
They've been harassing me for a long time. Just wanted you guys to witness this. I just tried to take just now that video right before.
Because it conked out right on that video. Right as soon as I took that quote, it conked out literally.
Big issue.
I was still taping the video and it just
I wish you
conked
guys
out.
could have caught that. Oh my god. Oh, here we go. It's still, and this wasn't what it said. It said something
and it was
else
still
before
out,
this.
and I was still trying to fix it and fix it, and it didn't fix.
This is Canada.
So anyway, I'm going to set the link to this video.
We all know that Canadians like to pretend they're further north than Americans are, but they're really not, and I'm going to prove it to you. This is the 49th parallel, the longest border between two countries anywhere in the world, and the one that's most often thought of as being the dividing line between Canada and America. It's true that most Americans do, in fact, live south of this line, but so do most Canadians. In fact, roughly 70% of all Canadians live south of the 49th in this land shaded red, but we can go even lower. A full 50% of all Canadians live south of this line in this relatively tiny area shaded red. This means that most Canadians live further south than pretty much the entire U.S. states of Washington, Montana, North Dakota, and obviously Alaska too. But I'm not done embarrassing Canada just yet. This is the southernmost point of Canada.
Okay, if you want to hear him continuing to embarrass Canada, knowing that these people are, I don't even know, they're not Canadians. They came from Italy and they're here to show you the coastlines of Alaska, where Russia territory begins. So, yeah, you could go, I'm going to try to set the link so you can hear that history of how they wiped out the Native Americans up there through Quebec, going down Montreal, down this whole coastline, and that's where they're still residing, and that's most of the places that are flooding as well. Like, a lot of places are flooding in that coastline of America from what they say is Canada, and you know, it's a lot of that is flooding as well, because these are the areas that flood. Anyway, I'll try to send the links to both of those, two different Canada videos. So also, I believe that they also was harassing my internet, because I was also touching on the R. Kelly situation of them now accusing him of dating with boys. And as I was showing you with the Pan, as I was advising you with Pan is the god of the wild shepherds. In flock, he's known as the companion of the nymphs. Pan is, you know, this is all like in Germany and Greek. So this is like somebody running around in the wild. They have stories like this in like more like books. You're not going to really find, Google is not going to give you like the direct stories of Pan in them. You're going to have to get like the books that you buy online, like how Young Farron buy these books for like a something, because they give more detail of their information of their stuff. This is their information, their stuff of their Greek gods and all their gods and whatever information of, and these gods are symbolism of time era and what people were doing during time eras. So anyway, the Pan is a depicted of a resemble of a fawn or a star. It's also known as having behind legs, horns of a goat, and of the god Phil's groove wooded glen. So he is associated with sex. Pan is also linked with fertility, the spring season. They have a deep, dark story about Pan, where most likely, you know, he runs through the forest, you know, naked, drunk, and, you know, he's like, grabbing people and taking them back and things like that. So, you know, when you get into like the big books, you'll read more about detail of Pan. You're not going to find it on Google like this. But anyway, let's keep it moving. So this is another depiction of Pan. More information about it if you want to pause it and read it, where they're also talking about Lucifer and things like that nature. So anyway, Pan, and then also he is connected to, okay, oh no, yeah, he's an archangel, something type, Pan Faunus, which means, as you can see right here, okay, the name derives from Greek word, which means pasture. He has horns, legs of a goat. The word panic derives from his name. Personality also is gentle in aspect. So he's panicky, paranoid, but he also is gentle in personality, in aspect. So it also in the Roman religion of Janus is also connected to Pan, Janus, January, the two-faced god of beginnings, gates, transition, duality, doorway, passages. This is the Latin version. This is also where they get the Medusa head from and whatever. So anyway, they just know if you get into that research, it's kind of like this is the biblical road that they have from playing upon. And if you get into the story about the Pied Piper, because then as they show you, it all intermixes with Pan, because they said to the Greeks were stating it's time to pay the piper. So like you had to like pay the piper. I don't know exactly, it's dark and I would have to go into more detail and have more clips to back me up to help me explain it. I don't like to just try to explain in my own words. I like to have articles that assist. But I just wanted to briefly go over that as well because I mentioned it, and then the article comes up of him, with the boys, and I was like, first it was just young girls, but now they're adding boys in because, the Pied Piper was the guy that led the children and the rats to the water and they drowned, but and this was in, in Germany, but they hired him to get rid of the rats, and then something happened where they didn't pay him. They didn't pay the piper, so then he led the children to the water and drowned them. So this is, and then, I don't know, and they considered him a hero, maybe because they were Germans. I have no idea exactly how this works, but you'll have to figure that out. But so, you got to figure out what role they're trying to make him play and why this came out, because I mentioned it, and then they're like, yeah, and he is bothering children, because now if you add boys, it's not just young girls, it's like you could say children now, because if you add boys, it's only boy and girl. So anyway, yeah, so that's all I really have. My celebrity rant today. I just wanted to get some of that stuff out of my phone because I didn't get to do a lot of videos, and it's a lot of things in here, and I do want to just catch up on some stuff. But just know that this video is mainly for the twinsy of my boy here, guys right here, and I'm gonna end it on that note of them having the same facial expressions. Like, share, and subscribe. Please share. I would love for the information to get out on, these people need to be canceled 100%. They are falling already. You see them falling apart already. Look at Gabrielle Union. She looks like somebody else is playing her role now. I don't know if I'm gonna make a video of that, but they're looking very things are weird. They're ignoring everything in the news. They're not even mentioning. There's so much stuff that you can mention and talk about, and they're just going about their lives on fake vacation. They're probably exiled on an island somewhere, pretending nothing is going on. They all dancing around, pretending they're fake lit in the parties, but there's really no parties and things really going on. People are not really dealing with these people because they're doing sex trafficking and they're sex slaves themselves, and they're running around doing a lot of weird things with people's identities and money laundering and keeping, they're doing a lot of bad things, and once probably it gets controlled, a lot of people will see the difference in what they were doing and how a lot of things could change if we kind of get rid of this connection of as I stated, it's like a Bollywood, Hollywood, they're all connected, and not even just that, and it's also with the Russian and the China, they all have their feet in the soul over here, and they're telling us what to do when it should be vice versa, so that's what the issue is. We don't go over in anybody areas. A bunch of black people are not going over, and don't get confused on who's black, because Young Pharaoh is saying his girlfriend is black, and I'm going to prove she's not. She's Asian. She's Indian Asian, and he's also South American. He's probably from South America or South Africa, wherever. He's French and African man. That's his ideology, which is like more Muslim, Iran, with all that stuff, Sultan type, the Maya Island and things like that. So, if you look into all those details, you'll see what kind of, where they get their ideologies from. And I don't think that's anything black or American, like where they're at. That's not where black people from where we're at right now in America, where this part of America, we don't really practice that stuff. We're more Christian in following. No one's really following the stuff that they're doing over there. Some people are still into it, thinking that's what you're supposed to do, because they've been drilling it and desperately brainwashed us. And when I show you how they live over there, not saying they live bad, but a lot of areas are not developed. They all live under sea level and things like that, and a lot of water. So this is probably why they had a lot of water damage, because they always lived in water anyway. I'm gonna show you it. You're not gonna ever want to step over there. I don't know why they were ever suggesting it. It's not happening. But you know, they're gonna try to force, and this is what the force issues are about. And the borderlines and all that is about them stealing and grabbing up children. And you know, these are cargoes, unfortunately, for these all children, whoever is a victim that they could grab up, women, whatever, any victims they could grab up. And most of these people don't have nothing to say because where they are at, slavery and stuff, or where they're from, is worse than, they say, like death. They rather die than stay where they're at. So even if they get swept up here and put in foster cares and then playing the roles like allegedly Keisha Cole or something like that, where they're adopted and things, and you know, they'd rather do this before ever living in the lifestyles that they were living and the situation that are put in. A lot of people that live in certain areas, they get them drugged out. They know what they're doing. They're snatching up kids and they're doing all kinds of stuff. So anyway, that's why you gotta cancel these people and understand they're keeping you entertained all over the place, YouTube, TV, everywhere, for a reason. That's all I have. Enjoy the rest of you guys' night. Like, share, and subscribe, and stay safe. All right, bye.